All right, hey VC, I'm Jamie. Welcome back. We are back with another video, back with another unboxing, multiple unboxings. I've had a few box sets that have come in all at once when it rains and pours. Two of them are CD box sets. The one is a vinyl box set. Unfortunately, I had some trouble with the video, so unfortunately, I've already taken the shrink off the vinyl box set. But let's take a look at that one. It has arrived. This is the Nick Drake box set, and this is called The Making of 5 Leaves Left. And this, with the little thing that's on the side here, almost like the Obi strip, says includes unaccompanied demos, studio outtakes, and previously unheard songs that tell the story of how Nick Drake's debut album came to be released on Island Records in 1969, compiled across 4 vinyl pressings, including the Joe Boyd-produced finished version, remastered by the album's original engineer, John Wood, with full track recording details, charts, recording history, and more in a 60-page book. So this is the rather uniquely packaged vinyl version. As I mentioned, unfortunately, I've taken the shrink off for this one, but this kind of comes right off, so we'll put that over there, and it's got a little kind of a die cut sort of thing here, like that. Kind of a nice slip case with this, and then they just simply come out like that. Okay, so we'll put that over here. And so we've got the original album and then all the extra goodies. So let's first take a look at the original album. And this is, again, Nick Drake, 5 Leaves Left. Nice gatefold here. And nice reproduction of the whole island look. And inside, we've got kind of an interesting reproduction of an island sleeve. Now, this is not polyline. This is like a cardboard sleeve, but very unique like that. And so, yeah, and it's almost kind of like you can see the image of the label on there, too, like almost kind of through the paper reproduction there. So there we have Island Records, and I'll just slip that back in. So there you have the original album, and then we've got the extras. So this is, if I've got this in the right order here, which one is this? This is Volume 2, what they're calling, we got, I think, Volume 1. Oh, no, here we go. Volume 1, The Making of 5 Leaves Left by Nick Drake, Volume 1. So this includes initial studio sessions from March 1968 and more studio sessions on side 2, again, from 1968 going into 1969. There you go. Yeah, I suppose slightly confusing that they've got the same cover on every single jacket. But then they have nice polyline sleeves for all the extra ones, for the extra records, or for the the bonus material, if you will. So there's that. And then as we carry on now, we've got Volume 2. This is Cambridge recording continued from May 1968 and more studio sessions from 1968. So then again, the cover, and that's what we have simply on the back, and then pretty much the same idea. Island Records. And then last but not least, we've got Volume 3 of this that has more studio sessions from 68, 69. And then more Cambridge recordings and more studio sessions. So just an expanded edition of the debut with Nick Drake. And it's interesting, the sort of the slowly growing popularity of Nick Drake in terms of posthumously, of course. In my town, they actually have a sort of a Nick Drake tribute concert. This is put together initially in Toronto, but then they will have this, I think it's a yearly event where they just celebrate the music of Nick Drake. They have various musicians come together for something like this. It's fairly big, often orchestrated, depending on the size of the particular concert. And they have it in Toronto, and then they also have it in my hometown as well, in Stratford, which is quite interesting. And here we have the booklet. Now, the booklet is not, as you can see, hardcover, so for me, showing this with my fine high tech is going to be a little tricky. Maybe you'll have to bear with me on something like this. Now, initially, with regards to this box set, thrilled to have it on vinyl. I was going to just pick it up initially on CD. I mean, the CD box set looks very nice as well, which is available. But then looking at the price point of it, Suddenly, at least ordering online, the vinyl edition, the price went down considerably. In fact, the vinyl edition at the time of ordering wound up being much cheaper, or at least not much cheaper, but cheaper than the CD version. So I went with the vinyl version. And since ordering, it looks like, at least for now, maybe for Canada, it looks like the vinyl edition has sold out, maybe because they dropped the price on it. But so, yeah, I was going to go with the CD version. Not a lot of pictures in this booklet, just a lot of, details and whatnot. But I was going to go with the CD version, but I wound up going with the vinyl edition, which is okay. But I don't know if you've spotted that, depending on where you order, how sometimes the CD version is almost the same price as the vinyl version. Not always, but I'm finding that increasingly, surprisingly higher prices for some of the CD box sets. Not always, not so much with vinyl CD releases, but sometimes with the box sets, sometimes there's not a huge variant on the price. Kind of depends on the CD package for the box set too. All right, the good old reel-to-reel tapes. Okay, and there you have it. I think there's just a few more pages, but it's probably, let's see what we've got here, as I'm very clumsy with the, and then we basically have all the lyrics and then the handwritten lyrics as well, which is kind of cool. I'll just show some of this. And then like that. Again, my apologies, but with this type of booklet. Oh, okay, there you have it. Very nice, though, and really looking forward to that. Celebrating a very unique artist with Nick Drake. Okay, let's move on to, I guess you could say, more mainstream stuff or whatnot. How about the latest Elvis Presley box set? And just happy that they're still releasing Elvis Presley box sets, considering so much of this material has been released, but they keep seeming to unearth new stuff or various stuff or have kind of different perspective on things. So this is Elvis Presley's Sunset Boulevard. This is the CD box set. It is also released on vinyl as well. I don't think the vinyl covers as much material as the box set does, so this is 5 CDs. So this is pretty incredible. I always, especially summertime, I always kind of look forward to an Elvis Presley box set. Elvis Presley Sunset Boulevard. This is Elvis's 1972 and 1975 recordings at RCA's legendary Sunset Boulevard studio. So that's the focus on this one, featuring all the masters and many outtakes, newly mixed without overdubs by Grammy Award-winning producer Matt Ross Spang. They have been doing that with a number of Elvis reissues, deciding to do it without overdubs, which is really interesting. So this includes hits like Burning Love, Always on My Mind, Separate Ways, that period in Elvis. 3 bonus discs feature 1970 and 1974 rehearsals, offering a unique fly-on-the-wall glimpse of his concert preparations. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna, and this is also sort of a slipcase thing. I'm gonna leave the shrink on maybe just for now, but unfortunately with the glare, it's gonna be kind of hard to see the track listings. Maybe we'll have a better look once we get inside this box set here. So let's open this up without causing too much damage. Okay, I'm just gonna have that and see if we can't get these on out of here. Okay, so there's again the cover and a bit of a glare on that, but let's take a look again. We have another floppy book, but for this kind of CD edition, I wasn't surprised about that. Okay, let's see if we've got these in the right order. I believe we do. So we've got Elvis Presley's Sunset Boulevard, I believe discs 1 and 2, and like that. And the classic vintage RCA, the straightforward yellow label or gold label, and like that. And then I'll show you what's behind. Oh, there's that and that. Very nice, very straightforward. And then we have discs 3, 4, 5, I believe. Great photos there. And that simply opens up like that. And pretty straightforward with the labeling there with that particular RCA label. And like that, and then I'll show you what's behind there. Oh, okay, there you have that. Let's take a look at the booklet. Not too extensive, but it's got some great photos. Loving the photos from this era. All the 45 sleeves. Again, that early 70s, a great time for Elvis performing. Very nice. And maybe this will give you a better indication of the song listing. Yeah, we can sort of go through. So these are all the songs listed for this. And looking forward to hearing some of the fly on the wall stuff. As Elvis can be quite candid and quite funny in rehearsals or in the studio. Oops. Hopefully that's helping out at least a little bit. Very nice, the microphone's there. And Elvis Presley, Sunset Boulevard. You know, it's summertime, another great Elvis Presley box set, so that's pretty awesome. And speaking of which, so happy to see this, the latest Talking Heads reissue, More Songs About Buildings and Food, definitive version of the 1978 album. So this is another CD/Blu-ray box set. Great to see these Talking Heads reissues. CD1, original album remastered from the 2-track analog master tape. CD2 is rare and previously unreleased outtakes and B-sides. And then CD3 is previously unreleased show from the Enter Media Theater, New York City, from 1978. And then the Blu-ray, previously unreleased and rare concert footage, Dolby Atmos mix 5.1 and high-res stereo. So there is footage on the Blu-ray and includes a 60-page hardbound book, of course, as part of this kind of whole package here, with previously unseen photos, liner notes from Tina, David, Chris, and Jerry, the band. Okay. And it's a shame that we haven't had at least a show from the Talking Heads, because they have gotten sort of back together in sorts in terms of, you know, promoting the movie Stop Making Sense. They've been doing many interviews and you know, talk shows and all that kind of stuff. But David Byrne was back out with the solo concert stuff, and I believe he's got an album out. So this it's like this, and then this comes right off, and then we got a nice picture of the band on the back there. So maybe I'll see if I can show you that up a little bit more closely. Yeah, such a great album. Such a great album. Okay, and I do like this kind of, I've been happy with this kind of presentation in terms of really nice, even a bigger book set, sort of, you know, much bigger than the sort of Jethro Tull size, you know, very, very nice. Okay, so let's open it up and see what we've got inside. And very nice to see the CDs and the little slip cases there. That is very nice, rather than sort of jammed in there. And these ones open sort of, they slip out quite easily like that, and then sort of open from the top. So we've got that. And that, and nice reproduction of the Sire Records label. But yeah, it's just a shame that we haven't had some sort of, I don't know, Talking Heads sort of reunion concert, or even just a one-off, something like that would be quite nice. I don't know. Okay, I'll just put that, and there's nothing behind those. And let's go to the back. And looking forward to hearing the show live at the Enter Media Theater. That's an interesting name. New York, August 10th, 1978. That's the track listing there. And pretty straightforward. And last but not least, Tina. And that's the Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray, just a slightly different labeling there. Okay. There you go. And the concert footage live at the Intermedia Theater from 1978, a number of the songs. And there's also live at Sproul Plaza in Berkeley, California from 1978. Very cool. All right, so we got a nice hardbound. We got our first hardbound book. So let's take a look inside. And boy, it's really nice, nice paper, nice stock paper on this. Okay. Some great photos for sure. And what can we say? An absolutely amazing band. And so nice to see these reissues. And it's nice to keep these reissues kind of consistent, like this type of format. And I have enjoyed the REM reissues as well. They've been good, but again, they've been sort of a hit and miss. The formats have been different for each of those sort of REM reissues. Sometimes big box sets, smaller box sets, almost like the Frank Zappa ones. You know, you get super big ones, and then you just get sort of small reissues and whatnot. Nice to be consistent. Although, what can I say? I enjoy the reissues. I enjoy the box sets. Because again, like with these artists, it's so these are wonderful deep dives into these artists. And again, with streaming services, gosh, you're not going to get these pictures. You're not going to get the booklet. You're not going to get all this in-depth material, which is really cool. Okay, really looking forward to that. Of course, listening to this and Elvis and, of course, and Nick Drake as well. Fun time to be a music fan. So again, thank you so much for dropping by. Take care. And again, if there's some box sets that you've picked up, or if you've picked up any of these and have listened to them already, let us know in the comments. And we'll chat again soon. I was going to say, I'm Jamie Cottle, but you know that. We'll chat again soon.